Yeah.
Let me move my lamp out.
What's up, everybody? We are running here on ReMob, KSA Kris here from the Real Estate Blitz. We got Lender Brandee on, and we're going to be doing a weekly kind of little update thingy, right, Brandee? Like an update
Yeah.
thingy. And
Update
it's
thingy.
kind of mostly just probably going to be Brandee and I talking a lot of trash, but all trash about real estate. So we may be
And the
talking about the
market.
finest memes that have come out right now, some of the finest
Yes.
meme lord spots for real estate people.
You're such a
Also,
good
what's going on
source
in the
for that.
market? Uh-huh.
You're such a
I
good
know.
source for that.
I have some of like the best places. Some of my I hide because I want people getting the memes before I get them. But there's some really, really cool. I did it again. Look, Brandee was laughing at me earlier because something's going on. I need to get all of this trimmed. So if you have a beard or like a stash that starts to come over, it gets moist. It's the word it's moist. So I have to wipe it down and I don't have any napkins. Oh, I do.
Don't
And
you
here.
usually carry like a bandana in your back pocket or
Yeah, I
something? I
usually
just
do,
thought
but
it
I'm in
was
my gym
funny
clothes.
because it's like you have little kids, and I'm just like, I could see Devin or Mattis like wiping their mouth with their t-shirt the way you just did. And it just made me laugh.
Probably. So let's get it kicking. I think the very first one that we had started talking about, and I sort of like wrote down this list. Um, Hi, welcome. Who are we? We did the hi, the welcome, and who are we? So for people that have been following ReMob, this is also going to be posted on the Real Estate Blitz. I'm sure it'll be in a few other spots. Brandee, who are you? Give everybody a quick update. So if they start seeing us every week, they'll kind of know, oh, that's Lender Brandee.
That's who I am. I'm Lender Brandee. I'm a loan officer. I work with the brokerage Bold Funding. So I work on the broker channel, which I absolutely love. And I have been on the direct side. I'm not a fan. So I'm happy to be back on the broker channel.
Cool. What areas do you service?
The state of California currently.
State of
I'm
California. Very
looking for
good.
some
So
other states soon.
cool. So if you find this on the Real Estate Blitz, if you find it on Instagram, if you find it on Facebook under ReMob or somewhere else, and you're looking for a lender in the state of California and potentially other places, hit up Lender Brandee. I'll make sure I put her into the comments as well. Of course, a lot of you are going to know me, KSA Kris. I'm infamous. That's a person that nobody really knows completely, right? Something like that. People know me, I
They
guess.
know you by like a crazy reputation if you're infamous, like a bad reputation.
Oh,
That's
like
what infamous is.
Johnny
You're
Depp,
famous.
or
No,
no,
like
he's
Amber
actually
Heard.
famous. Amber Heard. Yeah, okay, I get it. So I actually am very well known apparently in Australia and New Zealand, according to YouTube. I had
Oh,
no
that's
clue.
cool.
Yeah, a lot of people watch me on YouTube from there, which is great. Down under, doing doing great things, all the way from watching me from California, which is awesome. So we kind of said who we are. I do real estate. I help. I help run a team called Kim Steele and Associates, aka KSA, which is short for Kim Steele and Associates. Offices in Fallbrook, offices in Marietta, servicing Southern California specifically. That's what we do. And also, I have the Real Estate Blitz on the YouTube and Facebook, and KSA Kris on the Instagram. That's what I do. So with that said, let's get going into stuff.
I didn't know I could add all that onto my intro.
We'll add in more. Look, it's just us. This is like a table talk on Tuesdays.
Well, wait, just kidding.
Yeah, where I think on Tuesdays we'll just start doing it today. Probably nobody ever is going to watch this one, but we're going to keep doing this every Tuesday, and eventually this is going to become the thing where it's like that. It's like the morning show in LA. Like, oh my gosh, I just woke up. It's Tuesday. I got to jump on and see Lender Brandee and KSA Kris because that's what I do every Tuesday. It won't be that today. Today's probably literally just us talking. I doubt anybody's jumping on, but I don't care. So,
It's okay.
so out of way.
Maybe a
What are
shit
you
show
gonna add
then.
on? So where's all your stuff? Where can people look you up?
Oh, on Facebook, on Brandee Lee Loans, on Instagram, same Brandee Lee Loans, and yeah, also on RE Mob. I am a co-admin on their group, which I'm so excited about. We have so many fun things coming up, and I
I
haven't
like
even
Ari
talked
Mo.
to you about all the ideas. Yeah, it's really cool. And man, kind of all over the place. I'm everywhere.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's talk about Ari Mob. Since we're doing this like our Tuesday table talk, we're going to talk about the market or whatever else is really on our mind. ReMob is sort of something, there's a collective group of people that nobody's really in charge of. Nobody's really the boss. It's not owned or run by, some a title company owns this thing and, it's a title company marketed. In fact, I think the collective of people that kind of have started working on ReMob, none of us market or brand our own stuff within it, which is kind of cool. It genuinely is about getting out information to real estate industry people. It's not just targeted to one niche group. So I dig that.
Yeah, I mean, I think making sure that anybody in the real estate industry is informed and updated and has content, and also, adding even just some funny things like memes and things, that they have a place to go and educate themselves and about the market, what's happening, because we are in a shifting market, and I think it's really good for anybody to be able to get a little bit more info and be of better value to their clients. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stoked to have it.
I think what I kind of dig about what ReMob is becoming, it's kind of like all the things I like about different types of things that I find on Facebook. ReMob is on Facebook, but it's all the stuff that I like. So I like going to meme places for real estate memes, and it's just for real estate agents or people in the real estate industry. I like going somewhere and seeing, different content or information that's going to help me educate my clients, because I definitely am a firm believer of educate to dominate. I like going to a place to where it can become a meetup group or a networking type thing, which is kind of what ReMob is also becoming, where they're doing lunch mobs. So we meet up for lunch just to network and hang out. All people in the industry meeting up for seminars, evening seminars. So like this month, the 27th, correct? The
23rd.
23rd. January, March, April, May, June. I got to count 6 times. It's June 23rd. It should be a Thursday. Yep, next Thursday. So June 23rd, we're going to be at 127 Social House, the 127 Social House in Fallbrook, California, for our lunch mob. And that'll be really, really cool. So I think we're supposed to be talking about credit, basically looking at where we're losing 40% of our potential buyers market. And it's by really taking a hard look at those people and their individual credit and their ability to purchase and buy, and getting them to the point where 40%, this is literally missing 40% of the market. We're getting them to the place to where now, through nurturing, education, and adjustments, now you have a huge market that opens itself up to agents that want to work with buyers.
Yeah, and if I can interrupt you there, Kris, because I think that's a really good segue into even just talking about what's happening with the market this week. And what's happening with the market this week is kind of a big deal.
So let's talk about that.
We're expecting a big Fed announcement tomorrow with what's going to happen, how much they're going to increase the interest rate to kind of attempt to offset inflation. They maybe, in the past, they were expected to do a certain amount of rate hikes throughout the year, and they were slow to get that going, which was great for everybody at the beginning of the year. But right now we're seeing they're possibly going to be a little bit more aggressive, and so we had a kind of an Amber Heard TMZ leak thing kind of happen was it? I think it was Monday. I think it was Sunday night or Monday morning. But that leak basically let us know that there's probably going to be. So it was basically a reporter from the Wall Street Journal who came back on later last night, or rather, Monday evening, and said it wasn't his opinion. So we're guessing that somebody from the Fed kind of let him know that this was possibly going to happen. That rather than a 50 basis point increase, which has been what has been expected throughout the year and what we've been seeing, they're actually expecting a 75 to 100 basis point increase. So, I mean, that's going to affect interest rates, right? But I think it's important to note that when we talk about that, it's not necessarily directly affecting it's like they're not increasing the mortgage rates. They're increasing the rates for borrowing money, credit, and things like that. And so therefore it then affects the mortgage interest rates. And so your point about improving credit, this is a really great time to work on your credit, because obviously if they're increasing the interest rate on borrowing and credit cards, especially if you have a variable rate credit card, which most are, this is an ideal time to understand how to benefit your credit, how to make it better, because that's how you're going to save money. And obviously I could go into the mortgage interest rates and how you could utilize the equity in your house to make sure that you're not paying, crazy interest rates on your credit cards and all of that stuff. But, I just, to your point, the credit event that we're having is such a great opportunity, and she does many. So but I highly recommend if you can get there and be there in person and really hear Tiffany speak. She's a wonderful presenter, she's a wonderful speaker, she really knows what she's talking about. And that company in particular is the only one registered with the DOJ, the only company that I'm comfortable recommending to my clients, and the only company that I would and did personally use to improve my own credit. So.
And they're licensed, the only licensed one that I know of in California, with the DOJ. Is that correct? Because I know there's some big laws that are coming out, big changes when it comes to credit repair. I know anybody, when you talked about credit repair in the past, I was immediately suspect, because I'm not saying, look, folks, don't get old mad, especially if you're on not the YouTube, and you come after me and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy. I'm not saying all credit repair people are criminal.
Most.
But you know what? Most of them come off as worse than used car salesmen. And you wonder if they even bothered changing the oil before they sold the damn thing. It just seems grimy to me. So yeah, I mean, this is is that a good word? Grimy?
It just made me think of a time I bought a car from a grimy salesperson, and there was like no gas. There was no gas in the car. I drove off and it was empty, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Can you imagine if that happened now? They're like, "We're not filling your gas tank now.
We're not filling
like
up your tank. Just take it and be happy you got anything. By the way, the drivetrain's gone too. We're not fixing it. It's just, but that's how it comes off with the credit repair stuff. So a licensed, actually accredited, the only one that I know of in the state of California, with the new laws are getting ready to come out, pretty much all of these other credit repair businesses, to my understanding, going into next year, pretty much all of the other credit repair businesses that you see will have to shut down, or they are considered illegal businesses.
Correct. And another point to that is that being I think it's licensed with the DOJ. It's not a simple process. She has to get audited regularly, and I believe annually. They go through those books, they comb through those books to make sure that she's got her shit together. So it's not a small thing to be able to be, to work, to be acknowledged by them and to work directly with them. And they don't collect these large fees up front. So you're not going to be spending $3,000 up front or at all to be, and then hope that they fix your credit. Like that's just not how they work. And so, yeah, they're really outstanding.
Okay. So real quick, what's the name of, because, so this is kind of what and I think this is kind of what I want the Tuesday talks to be, where, yeah, we're talking about market updates, but I hate having stuff where it's just so freaking formal, and let's just talk, have fun, and start putting out information, and we'll figure out what it's going to become as it becomes that. Yeah. And apparently you don't like your hair today. Is that what's going on?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. I can see this weird bump thing. It's driving me. I don't know what's happening.
I think I told you earlier, like through my camera, I look like I should have a man bun somewhere back here. My hair is getting a little out of control.
Yeah, I think like I told you, I think Amazon, you can order one to clip on there.
I'm not doing that.
You want to try?
I'm just going to go to the barber shop.
You said you were going for new looks. I thought maybe.
Okay. I am going for a new look at the barber shop for him to clean all this crap up. Because I could literally just take off my t-shirt and start running in the forest right now, and the wolves would take me on as one of their own. It's that bad. I'm feeling very hairy at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna go live with wolves. Why not? So real quick, name of her business, so people want to look her up, because this is very, very cool, because this could happen anywhere in the country. So if you're watching us on YouTube or wherever else, anywhere in the country, you can give her a call. Name and business, please.
Yeah, so Tiffany Cross at Dedicated Credit Repair. They are located here in Marietta, but they, like you said, they can service outside of the state of California and throughout the country. Really outstanding. And with all the new changes, and I don't even know them all, which is why I think it's really important for people to show up who can show up at this Fallbrook event, because she's going to be talking to us about all the updates, all the changes, this crazy ass FICO score that has this crazy ass algorithm that nobody really understands, but we all need. I think it's important to know and understand. So yeah, I think, Dedicated Credit Repair, Tiffany Cross. She's rad.
Cool. I think I'm going to interview her on the ReMob too. Probably either later. I don't know. I'll give her a call and find out when she's available. So with that, I want to move to the next thing. Since we already started talking about it, where are the interest rates right now? Because I mean, it's wild. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and his brother's moving to California, and he's like, Kris, I'm thinking he just wants to rent a house. I'm like, okay, rent a house versus buy a house, what's up? And he started going into interest rates. So he locked in at 2.6% on his,
Wow.
even though he was paying a little more because, you know, housing prices are up, state of California. Still smoking on interest rates. Where are we at right now?
So right now we are in the mid to high fives, depending on your credit. And they did jump up this week. They came out yesterday was a shit show for both the stock market and the mortgage market, and they went up quite a bit. Right now we're floating, so we're kind of waiting to see what happens tomorrow. The big announcement comes at 11:30, I believe, Eastern time. So we'll see what happens after that. We're not expecting it to like drop or crash or anything like that as far as rates go. So,
Right.
but with regard to the buy versus rent, we have an average appreciation rate across the country of about 5%, especially here in the state of California, and an average rent increase of about 6%. So when you look at that over time and how much you're paying in rent, when you can lock in even at what's considered a high interest rate, you're locking that in, and then you have the ability to pay your mortgage, later refi when the rates come back down a little bit. So now you can drop your mortgage rate. So your monthly payment. So you're actually, even if you have a higher payment right now, you would be lowering it later compared to with rent, whatever it is right now, already high, having an average increase of 6% over the next, think about it, like 9, 10 years or however long you choose to wait before you decide to buy. I mean, that's quite a bit of money you're throwing out the window.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like while you're, I don't know if you've ever watched Anchorman, and there's this scene in there where it's a very pungent uh, cologne that's worn, and he talks about work 60% of the time, all the time, and it's almost like how I feel when you rent. You're literally paying somebody else 60% of the time, all the time. You're never paying you ever, and that does suck. I love the fact that you brought up, talking about 5% overall big picture appreciation year over year. And yes, interest rates eventually will come back down. And let me be honest with you, 5% on anything is still nothing. I mean, people think about that. If you look at what you purchase a car at, I'm buying a car and I got a loan at 5%. That's not bad. Still
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
good.
even 6%,
Even
isn't.
6%,
So it's like,
you know?
yes, they're going to go up, but compared to like what I was talking about, the variable interest rate on credit cards and what people are borrowing, when they have their high interest rate or, mid to average credit, like it's a big difference. So, um, I think it's just there's and as we look at the forecast of what the appreciation is going to be, I know people kind of talk about this fear of this housing crash and all these different things, and that's a whole other Oprah that we could go down that road that we could go down, but it's just not what's expected, and there's so many reasons why that's not what's expected, and so if you're going to purchase, then over time there's just you should expect, especially with real estate, that you're going to maintain an average appreciation of about five. Right now, it's 5.10% is actually what they're averaging it.
Yeah, I'm still thinking 6%, 7%. I think the challenge that's going to come from all this, which is what I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Interest rates going up don't bother me. Are the house prices going to come down? Um, I don't know, man. I mean, if they're going to have to, but are they? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think that's what we're talking about, right, with appreciation. So even if they come down, we're not going to expect this crazy crash that everyone keeps talking about. That from 2008, 2009, people are expecting this massive bubble. Oh, this $800,000 house is now going to cost $300,000.
No,
That's just not
it's
going to
just not going
happen.
to happen.
There are reasons that happens, and then there are guidelines and things that have been put in place to make sure that doesn't happen again. So
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. So even
Dodd
if
Frank.
you buy and it dips, exactly. Even if you buy and it dips a little bit or flattens out, well, you're not selling next year unless you're flipping. You're not selling next year. You're not selling in 2 years. If your goal is to buy a house for your family and stay in it, it's like any long-term stock, right? You just don't sell when it's down. Stay in
Right.
it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I love the fact that you said that things have changed so much. Back 2007, 2008, 2009, what a lot of people don't realize is that the lender market, primary, secondary markets, were worse than the Wild West. And I think people genuinely think that the lender side of the house was really put together and organized. It absolutely was not even kind of put together. Dodd-Frank, the crash itself, and the laws and rules that were put in play, Dodd-Frank specifically, during the Obama administration, huge. That's why a lot of people started to freak out when, and I don't want to make this political thing, but this is kind of our table talk to do whatever the hell we want to talk about on a Tuesday. But people, when it came to Trump, were freaking out when he said he wanted to go through and start gutting portions of Dodd-Frank. Now, what I would say is there are some portions in Dodd-Frank that are pretty damn extreme the other way. But I understand why they were put in play. But during a very healthy market, because of some of those extreme portions of Dodd-Frank, it was actually making it difficult for good, hardworking Americans to get a house. So who knows? What I would say is we're not going to see, I don't believe we're going to see what we saw before. I was in real estate at that time. And I don't know. It's interesting. So I'm glad we talked about that. Okay, so next. I want to talk about this because it sort of happened today. So I have to stretch.
Is this our intermission?
Yeah, stretch. There we go. Everybody gets to see my armpits. So I got this message in today. I'm going to read this to you. I was so mad. One of the agents on our team, he was pretty upset and hurt. So he says, here we go. He gets this message in. He had submitted an offer, and he says, I guess not always being the highest offer is a good thing. So the agent replied to him, says, just letting you know that it looks like the partners hot for this conventional offer, period. So it looks like we're going to, with a conventional loan. I'm sorry, good luck though. I really liked your offer and it was higher than the conventional offer. So, I start talking to our agent, Henry, and it turns out, he has a client that is using a VA loan. And it's wild to me. This has been one of the things that really just pissed me off for so long. I get so freaking angry and so irritated by this. I myself am a veteran. I am a retired veteran, and I'm a disabled veteran. So I'm kind of like the trifecta. I mean, the only thing that I could go from there is if I was a combat wounded, which I'm not, right? So it is wild to me that here it is, 2022. People are still confused on what the VA loan is, how it works, and the actual benefit there is to the buyer and the seller. This is where people get really freaking confused. Sellers, there's benefits to it, but they would rather go with a conventional loan. And it's typically because the seller's agent, I'm telling you, it's typically because the seller's agent is undereducated and is just stupid. I'm trying to find the nicest way to say
Ignorant?
that. Ignorant.
Which is also uneducated, so it would be redundant.
That's stupid. But I mean, dude, you shouldn't be ignorant when you're talking about good quality people, a veteran of our military, right? And I'm not going to get too patriotic and start singing God Bless America for you, but here it is. It's an amazing program that gets people into a home, and a program that is there and very straightforward and extremely great for the seller as well. So I that pissed me off. And almost, I wish we could go, and especially when you get a text like that, and I wish I could go, okay, well, that is some type of ist, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it really pisses me off that badly.
Discrimination happening there for sure.
Something, dude. It's like, okay, so
I see it a lot.
You've just decided that if it's a VA loan or a veteran of something, that we screw them. I mean, because what, are veterans dirty? Do we have dirty loans that are no good to you? You just don't want us to get into a house. Well, I'd rather go with a conventional. Like so you're a lender. You're Lender Brandee. Tell me, what are your feelings on this?
I think, like you said, it comes right down to a lack of education and not really understanding what it means. I mean, I think that people think that because they're looking at a 0% down payment loan, somehow or some way somebody is less invested. I have not really understood the idea or the mindset behind if somebody comes in with 20% down versus 0% down, they're somehow more invested in the property.
What about cash?
Because
So this is my favorite one. So somebody says, well, I'm coming in all cash. Last I checked, any loan, if you still have to go through the 21-day, 30-day process, isn't it all still cash in the end?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so this
they're
is
basing
what
it
always
on.
blows my mind. Okay, so let me get this right. Well, we're coming in all cash. Great. So that means you're waiving all contingencies and stuff. Well, no. Okay, so hold on. So let me get this right. So if you were coming in with a loan, which is also cash,
To the
you
seller,
would be
yeah.
doing all the same contingencies and all the same inspections that you're doing with cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then it's still cash.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed. I just can't wrap my head around that.
And the only thing I can think there is if somebody doesn't want or doesn't care to get an appraisal, or
It's different, but there's
it's
you
different.
can
Maybe they
do
can have a shorter
you can
close
get
time,
a
but
loan with an appraisal cap will cover the
yeah.
cap out of cash too. But you see what I'm saying?
Or an appraisal waiver. I mean, there's lots of opportunities for that as well. If somebody is coming down with a large down payment, find out if you can get a property inspection waiver, or they don't even have to have an appraisal. But I digress, because you were asking specifically about the VA loan, and I really somebody does not have, in my opinion, more of an investment with a 0% down loan versus a 20% down loan, because they can still cancel if the appraisal comes in low. I mean, there's no more investment. The EMD is a little bit different, but still, you still have your loan contingency and your appraisal contingency, so they can still cancel. So I don't quite understand that. Maybe somebody could educate me on why that makes sense to them.
We need to do
But
that. We need to like just get somebody on that just specifically talks to like goes deep, deep, deep.
What is
Even
your
if
thought process when you don't want to accept a VA loan?
yeah, I don't know, man. Long story short, it just pisses me off.
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
get
and just
pissed.
to throw out there, when it comes to the appraisal and people being concerned about VA appraisals, one thing I can tell you, there with FHA and VA, the appraisal is tied to the property for a period of time, and maybe they get concerned that if the appraisal comes in low, that they're stuck with that. But then you can always go with a conventional loan. But the point is, with the VA loan, you can actually come in, and if it's priced right, if the comps match the value of the purchase price, then you can argue that so much easier than even a rebuttal. It's called Tidewater. You get an opportunity to they let you know it's going to come in low, and then you have an opportunity to find the comps that support the value, and then but no other loan does that. And I don't know, there's just, to me, there's so many benefits. It's already insured and backed by the VA. The Contrary to popular belief, the VA appraisals are not worse than a conventional appraisal. There's some safety and health hazards that they want to make sure of, but other than that, there's no huge differences from an appraisal, conventional appraisal versus a VA appraisal. And I got that straight out of the mouth of an appraiser, from another. Just recently went to a presentation, and I asked that directly. She's like, no,
Right.
there's not that many differences. There's really not.
That's wild to me. Yeah. So I guess every time I see something like that, and it happens all too often, I've been doing real estate for a lot of years, and I always end up feeling that sick feeling in my stomach when I hear somebody decided, well, we just don't want to mess with a VA buyer. We're actually going to wait. That's the worst one. We're going to wait until we get a conventional loan in. I'm like, these are human beings. This loan program is a great loan program. There's only one loan program that I talk crap about, and I've been very vocal about it. I've never had anybody tell me to shut up, not yet, and that's over the CalVet loan. It
Yeah.
blows my mind that the government can create a loan and screw people over, but will screw over mortgage companies for trying to hold people to something, but will help the people. So it's okay, as you can't screw with people unless it's us. The government can screw with people, but you can't. And I'm just like, CalVet loan, run and hide. Anybody, if you've ever come across it. I know I had one of our agents was working with a client. I ended up talking to the client a little bit and told them about the CalVet, and had them actually talk to other people that have been screwed by the CalVet loan. Because I'm like, look, you don't have to hear it from me. I'm telling you, if you have the ability, if you have to wait another 3 to 6 months, I'd recommend you do that instead of screwing with this loan. Here's how things go wrong. Not only that, Mr. Potential Buyer, Mrs. Potential Buyer, or buyer, right? Because it's just buying person, buying thing. You can say that, right? Thing. What's up, Miss Thing? So buying person. Here's how it works out. Maybe if you can't afford to get any other loan but this one, maybe you, because, honestly, take some responsibility here. It's probably because you are not in a great place to begin with.
Well, and specifically because the CalVet loan is marketed to people with low credit scores and they who don't qualify for the VA loan. And so then they go to the CalVet loan. I remember just recently even working with somebody who I really wanted to help her, but I couldn't beat the interest rate and I couldn't qualify her with her credit score. And it seemed like, and you were the one who explained that CalVet loan to me because I don't do them.
I think
So
they're awful.
I was like, wow, I didn't quite understand it, but now I think I've done one, I brokered out one in the past. Knowing what you say now, I'll probably just be informing, educating people to wait or help
I
them with
just,
their credit report. Again,
there
going
it
back to
is.
Tiffany.
Help them out, help them get in the right direction, help them get it to where they really should be or could be, instead of putting them at the mercy of the empire. For those of you that know me, I am a hardcore libertarian. With that said, the bad part is libertarian people it's never been proven to work. Nobody gets behind it. I don't wear a boot on my head, but I do believe in, I am a radical left and a radical right and not. I don't know. It's really weird. So so I don't like the empire. But I am good with smoking weed. It's a weird thing. Talk about rates. We talked about. Did we talk about the SB 1073 yet?
I know you and I talked about it before we went live. I
I don't think we
think we
actually went
talked
into
about
it
it
because.
now. Yeah, no.
So I want to talk about that because I got a phone call last night from a buddy of mine. His brother's moving out here to California, and he's not, he's asking me questions. Should my brother buy? Should he this? Should he that? And then he was the one that told me about it. He says, have you read anything about SB 1073? And I was like, no, I haven't. And I read a lot of law stuff. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I just crushed like 9 tacos before I jumped on here. Those tacos, or was it 6? I think I crushed like 6 of them.
You
They
had
were
tacos
delicious.
for breakfast?
Yeah,
Were they
well,
breakfast tacos?
the taco joint across from my office here, they opened at like 10. I got done doing cold calls and I just wanted tacos. And it's like, so on Tuesday, it's $1 taco day. Wednesday, it's 99-cent street tacos, but it's hard tacos today. It's crunchy tacos. And the
I
crunchy
like
tacos
tacos. Those are
mess
my
me
favorite.
up. They're awesome. Yeah. So SB 1073. So he was telling me about it. He says, do me a favor, can you read through it, look at it, and tell me what you think? I says, okay. So I started reading through it. And so long story short, there were some laws in place for very specific disabled veterans in California to get very specific breaks on their taxes when it came to, housing taxes, right? And my buddy's like, man, I'm hoping this is a lot like Texas, where if you're a disabled vet or veteran, you don't have to pay property taxes. I was like, man, that would be very un-California-like, but pretty damn cool going in that direction, right? So it's very un-California-like because California likes their money. They like to tout how they have a surplus, but our roads are just destroyed and awful. I could keep going, but I won't.
It's a beautiful place to live. You should buy here.
The weather's great. There's no bugs. Look, great weather, no bugs.
That's the selling point for me. No bugs. I have no
it.
desire to go anywhere else. I'm good.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a mosquito or any bug really. Just say it. So that's what we're paying for here. That's, people don't get it. I paid $7 a gallon for gas this morning. It's for the no bugs. Yeah. But anyways,
Really?
yeah, it was crazy because I have the Audi, so it's like 91 octane.
Oh,
It was like $7 a gallon. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. Yeah, I'm. It's almost cheaper to just go buy some really strong alcohol and like share with my guests. Like, here you go, bud, little for you, little for me, and get on down the road because it is proven science. And somebody's going to fact check me on this one. That if you drink more, it actually helps you drive better. Yeah.
That's not something you need to put out there. I don't think that's a good idea.
That's not true. That's not true, folks. That's a lie. That's a lie.
You do not encourage
So, long story short, as I'm reading on this bill, the SB 1073 in the state of California, one of the co-authors for that bill is Melissa Melendez. Melissa Melendez is a friend of mine. She's a senator, California senator. She actually lives right down the street from me. So I think I'm going to reach out to her on Facebook or even tag her on this and try to get her on, because instead of me trying to read the legal beagle, especially government legal beagle, which is two different things, and we're probably going to talk about the Johnny and Amber Heard trial because you were infatuated with that. We'll get into legal beagle stuff on that.
Not
But
over yet.
the SB 1073, even though I could probably try to figure it out and say what I think it says, I'd rather talk to the actual co-author and say, what exactly is this?
Yeah, can
Is
you
it?
just put this in English for me and tell me what this
Yeah,
means?
is this what what's coming to law? Is this just like Texas? Or, is it just now open to all veterans, but only up to a certain? So that's what I think they did. I think they opened it up to all disabilities, veterans. I think I said that right. I probably didn't. People that have disabilities that are veterans, right? For all, but up to a limit on how much you could do. So but I don't want to put all that out there today. What I would tell you is go check it out. I think this is going to be really cool. I want to like start ringing the bell. I'm going to Paul Revere this thing, because if it's what I think it is, I'm going to ask Melissa first, then interview her. I think every real estate industry person in the state of California should freaking know about it. If you're working with a veteran, if you have friends that are veterans, to my understanding, it's not going to be retroactive. So you would probably have to end up talking, so it's not retroactive. So you'd have to end up talking to a lender and readjust your, which goes in, I think you and I talked about this. So Proposition 60, which turned to Proposition 19, et cetera, et cetera. So all the different propositions, right? So,
yeah, but let me correct. May I just really quick?
Yeah.
When
That's why
something like
I
that
want to talk about
happens,
you.
the property taxes, that kind of an exemption is typically handled after the close of escrow. So we still have to consider the tax rate and everything that to the property, or the average tax rate of the 1.25% that they use here in the state of California. We cannot adjust for that. So we still have to qualify you based off of that, the actual tax rate. But what you actually end up paying, the exemption is just something that you file after you close escrow.
Huh. Okay, cool. So you know what? I feel like I should just get her on.
Yeah,
And just interview her, just ask her, just like plain speak. If it's what I think it is, and it is as cool as it could be, dude, I would love to be because I haven't seen anybody break that out yet. I don't think anybody's talked about it. And I wouldn't even mind talking to her more, because there's other things that are coming out of the state of California when it comes to real estate, housing affordability, housing availability. How cool would it be to start having maybe a senator on every other month to talk about just that type of stuff? What's coming out of Sacramento for the state of California when it comes to real estate? And Melissa's freaking just badass. I mean, if you've never got a chance to hang out with her and her husband, Nico is just the coolest, and just have a beer, you got to. Really, really cool people. So let's see, what else?
You can't hear that, can you?
Huh?
Like my stomach is like growling really loud. I didn't know if it was making it to my microphone or not.
No, it's not. Your mouth is on your microphone. Your stomach is where your stomach. Are you burping?
I'm not burping, but
Okay.
it's been loud. It's like it's been very loud, and I was just laughing because I was like, oh God, I hope he can't hear that.
Well, it turns out we're kind of like at the end of this. So every Tuesday, we're probably going to sit down and just do like a simple table talk. What's going on? Just 30 minutes. Lender Brandee and KSA Kris just chatting away. So with that said, I mean, what's on your mind? You got anything that you want to talk about before we hop off?
No, just another reminder that, if you are available, you should definitely head down to 127 West Social House on June 23rd at 1 p.m. This is the time to understand your credit. If you have bad credit, or if you've been struggling with it and you just think that you're doomed and you can never buy a house, or you can never buy a car, or whatever the case, or you're just doomed to have high interest rates for everything you ever purchase, it's just not true. And if you're young and you're just starting out on your credit, this is such a great chance for all of those graduates who just finished high school and they're all on summer vacation. Get your ass down there and listen to this, because this is your opportunity to start everything out right, to build your credit the right way, so that you are positioned in a really great place in life to move forward.
Cool. And I think for me, just glad to be on here.
Yeah,
Start
thanks for
pushing
having
this
me.
out. I'm going to get out on ReMob, and if you're down with it, every Tuesday we'll just kind of keep doing like table talk for 30 minutes, talk about what's going on in the market, look at updates, talk about what we're seeing, and just chat. Just
I'm
chat
down
it
with
up.
it. I'm
Brandee,
down with it.
chat it up. So appreciate it. Thanks, Brandee. Appreciate y'all for watching. And we'll catch you next week. I guess next Tuesday. All right.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same, but yeah, we should probably set a time for this. When do you want to start doing this? Like 11? I think 11 is a good time.
Well, we start, 11. Bam.
Cool. 11. It's
done.
going to be 11 every Tuesday.
You were here for it.
You're here. You were here. You're in ground level.
The inaugural 11 o'clock setting. You were here.
All right, cool. We'll talk at you all later. Appreciate you. And have a good one. Brandee, hold on one second while I stop the stream. Stop the stream. Oh, stop the stream.